Well, guys, we are kind of redoing a podcast that we had already filmed. The sound quality wasn't up to what we like, and we wanted you to hear us get drunk clearly.
That's right, yeah. So welcome to episode 6, take 2. So this week we're going over cheap beers, or sub-premium beers as they like to call them, and a little bit of history of some beers that we had growing up when we were rookies. When we were rookies and didn't have a whole lot of money. So a lot of these beers make their names and their profit from younger drinkers that and college students that don't have a lot of money. So
it's surprisingly, some of them are high quality, low cost. Others are low quality, low cost.
Very low quality.
You'll see. We found this out last week. One that we fucking hate. But because we like you guys, we're going to gut our way through another can of this shit.
We'll include a clip from the last week's episode of our first time drinking it, because it was the first time I'd ever had it. Zach had it before.
I had it before.
So you'll get my initial reaction and my second reaction from that today.
I think I'm the only guy dumb enough to buy it twice.
You got to hand it to them, though. When you see it, their marketing is pretty on point. They trick you. They do pretty good with it.
Almost worth it.
Almost. Just for the artwork. So which one do we want to start with?
Well, I'm drinking a Busch Light and you're drinking a Keystone, so why don't you take the lead here with one of those?
All right, so yeah, we'll start with Keystone. And actually, I do drink Keystone every once in a while when I'm in a mood for a cheap beer. My normal go-to everyday drinking beer is Coors Light.
Yeah, I've grown up a little as well. I'm also a Coors Light fan. Plus, my family up in Montana grows some of their barley for Coors up on the Montana High Line, and they take it by rail down to Golden, Colorado.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
so Coors Brewing Company owns Keystone Light. They released Keystone. I got some facts right here.
I always thought Keystone came from Pennsylvania because Pennsylvania is the Keystone State, and I was sorely mistaken.
Yeah, let's see here. Keystone was released in 1989 in Chico, California, was their first.
Less sense.
It's brewed in Colorado in the Coors plant, but I guess they wanted to release a cheaper version, basically. And it's funny because there was rumors about Keystone. They say it's dented can Coors Light, where if you always find a can of Keystone, it's always got a dent in it. So they say they just relabeled the Coors Light can, but
just bleach it and paint it.
But evidently that's not true, though. It's its own recipe, and it's brewed to be.
I had always heard that they came out of the same vat, and just the bottom half where all the shit settles was the Keystone.
Yeah, I heard that one too. There was one of those that I don't know if I have it on here or not, but yeah, there was a few different theories of where it came from, whether it was a different. The same stuff, but it was just the rejects. They said somebody said that it
was the good ass beer.
The good ass beer of the because Coors Light has their cold filtering and cold brewing process, and some people said, well, maybe it's their Coors that didn't maintain temperature. It wasn't cold enough, so
brewed in a hot trailer.
Yeah, in a bathtub.
Yeah, brewed in this shed. We always bitch about the temperature. It's fucking hot in here tonight, guys. We're sweating a little bit.
It went from cold to hot.
If we get a glisten, we apologize.
It's the studio lights.
Yeah. It's the pressure. It's the pressure getting to us.
So, one of the cool thing, actually, you'll like this. So, they just released a new version of Keystone. They released it, and let's see here. Oh, it doesn't say the year on here, but it just says recently. So it's called Keystone V9, and it was a partnership, and it is introduced and only available in Puerto Rico.
No shit.
The V Suarez and Company Incorporated Brewery in Puerto Rico, they partnered with Keystone and make the Keystone V9. So it is the only Keystone that is brewed outside of the Coors Brewery.
I'll try and bring some back. We're going to Puerto Rico in October.
That's why I figured you might.
Yeah, we're gonna take Keisha and I, my wife, newlywed. We're gonna take my mom and have her mom meet us down in Puerto Rico for a few days. So I'll try and see if I can keister some back up here for you guys.
It'll be good. We'll have to try it. So another thing that I thought was interesting, Keystone in Canada, like I've never seen Keystone in a bottle.
I haven't either.
Well, that was one thing they advertised in the early days of Keystone was the bottled beer taste in a can because they had special liners in the can or whatever. But you can get Keystone in a bottle in Canada.
But not in the States.
Huh. Yeah.
So that one's on you to keister back. You gotta go to Canada.
I go to Canada. Oh. Yeah, so hey, how about this? If there's anybody from Canada, we actually have a few listeners from Canada.
Yeah, guys. Canadians, eh?
Send us a package of Keystones in it so we can try them in the bottle.
Yeah, I'm down, guys. Yeah, I'll give you my address if you hit us up on the podcast.
Yeah, send us a PM.
Yeah,
and
shoot us an email or
and we get us so we can try some of these. And if you know of a local beer, let us know because we can.
We're always looking for new stuff to review, guys. We all try to fair share, but I'm always up for new experiences. We like beer.
That's right. Yeah,
all different kinds.
And then
we're not just stuck to beer. We like liquor. We like a little wine.
Yeah.
You guys give us suggestions.
That's right. Let's see here. So last year, Keystone sold 3.1 million barrels of Keystone.
Mostly at a college campus.
And those of you who don't know how much because beer is measured in barrels. And a barrel of beer is 36 U.S. gallons. So 3.1 million barrels of 36 gallons.
Yeah, so that's why they call a full keg is a half barrel. A pony keg is a quarter barrel.
Yeah. That's a lot of beer. But that's still not the...
That is a lot.
That is a lot, but that's not the top of our list of our beers this week. So we'll get to that one later.
Okay.
Keystone did some pretty good stuff with their marketing. You
got a lot of information on this.
I did.
Well played,
got a lot of information on this.
Travis again beats me on the research.
So they came out with the character Keith Stone for the commercials.
I do remember that. Yes.
That was in the mid 2000s when they came out.
Yeah, I remember those.
And their slogan was "Always smooth, even if you're not." And they had the Keith Stone commercials, and he'd carry the 30-pack on his shoulder like a boombox. We'll have to put a commercial up on the video too of some of the ones where he would
just a picture of Keith Stone.
Keith Stone and his mullet.
Yeah.
What's the dealio, little lady?
My Kiki, she's stuck in the tree.
Hold my stones. Hey, little Kiki. Easy, easy, easy. Atta girl. She'll be fine. She's just a little shaken.
Thank you, young man. What's your name?
My name? Yeah. It's Keith Stone.
Keith Stone, you're so smooth.
Always.
Smooth brewed Keystone Light is always smooth, like Keith Stone.
That's great. But one of the cool things that they did, they repackaged a 30-pack in 2011, and they invented the can hole game, and they modeled it off a cornhole, and they made a punch-out hole in their 30-pack box where you could crush your beer cans and throw them at the box for a tailgate game.
It's almost like recycling.
Yeah, it's just like
in a roundabout way.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty smart on their behalf. You take a 30-pack of Keystones to the tailgate or to the frat party.
Yeah, wherever. to the Walmart parking lot.
To the Walmart
if you feel
parking
so
lot.
inclined.
When we were teenagers, we hung out in the grocery store parking lot.
Yeah,
that was our place.
Everybody in the country did that. We did it too. Yeah, we did.
So
ours was a Kmart parking lot.
The Kmart parking lot.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. There's Kmart still exists.
Yeah, there's a couple stores left. Yeah.
Well, evidently they are still really big in like New Zealand and Australia. They still have Kmart.
I did not know that.
Evidently, Kmart there is almost like a Target here. They have grocery stores and stuff in them, and like And
That's where the girls in the yoga pants go.
yeah. So I think I saw that on a TikTok. Somebody was talking about Kmart. And
You know, there's one Blockbuster video left
really
in Oregon.
in Oregon.
Yeah,
Wow.
I used to know what town it's in. Bend, I think. Bend, Oregon, I think is where it is.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the last standing Blockbuster.
I wonder if I still have a Blockbuster card. I wonder if it still worked there.
I mean, I think they would have to honor it.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
No, knowing my luck, I'd show up and realize I still had
Got a late fee.
over $1.2 million or something.
You want to hear a funny story? My dad, he... I feel like an asshole for narking him out on this. When I was a kid, my dad went to return some movies at Blockbuster, and there was one laying on the ground, and he was like, free movie.
Free movie.
So he grabbed it and brought it home, and it was True Lies.
Oh, nice. At least it's a decent movie.
Yeah, and he had it for like a year. And then he rented movies, and he accidentally turned it in a year later. I don't think we watched it once.
Oh, that's funny. I remember the stickers on them. Be kind, rewind.
Yeah.
Or you get the fine for not rewinding them.
Yeah, I remember that.
Charge you $1.
Which one am I going to migrate to here? Keep going.
You're gonna select your next.
I'm going to get on to one we're going to talk about here in a little bit.
So I think that's really about all I got for Keystone. They did
That was impressive, though.
They did some pretty good stuff with their marketing. They like to market it to the there's one other thing. They were trying to entice the college crowd a little bit more. Is in 2020 they launched a raspberry lime Keystone Light. It's like the tropical fruit beer, pretty much.
Was it to compete with the Natty Light?
I think so, because Natty Light, the Natter Day came out. I think about the same time or a little bit before that. So I think they released it to compete with it. Evidently, it's pretty good.
The Keystone one. I'd like to try it.
And there's a recipe that you make at your house. You can mix a Keystone with margarita mix and lime, a little bit of salt, and you have a beer-garita, a stonerita.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
Yeah.
Well played, sir.
Yeah.
No, I feel like a dick for putting down my Busch Light.
Nah, I like the Keystone. It's not bad.
They got a nice can too.
Yeah. That's one thing, they quit making the Keystone Heavy or the Keystone Full flavor, and it was a red label, and it was a red can. That would actually look pretty cool, I think. So they went to the blue, and they have the Keystone Ice. It's still available, and it's in a black can.
I knew that. I saw it the other day when I wanted to buy cheap beer.
Yeah. So, yeah, the Keystone does pretty good, I think.
Yeah. Well, I'm having a PBR, so let me move on to that here for a minute.
Yeah.
So, Pabst Blue Ribbon, as most of you know, has been around for a very long time. It started in Milwaukee in 1844. It is now based in San Antonio, and it's named for a very wise marketing campaign. 1882 to 1916, the brewers would, this is pre-cans, they would put blue ribbons on every bottle that they would send out.
Like literal blue ribbons?
Literal blue ribbons.
Oh, wow.
And people would see a blue ribbon and think, first place, we're going to drink the best beer.
Yeah.
And it worked. They were originally named the Best Brewing Company, and they basically took over the beer scene after the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. It destroyed 19 breweries and made Milwaukee the beer capital of the United States.
Milwaukee. Yeah.
So Chicago was the big beer because
Yeah.
they had the beef and they had the Chicago stockyards, and the beer thing was their other big thing, their big income producer in the city.
I guess that's where old Milwaukee comes from then too, yeah.
It is, yeah. They changed it to Pabst from Best Brewing in 1890. But the blue ribbons are the biggest claim was they had all the blue ribbons on their bottles, but they put Pabst Blue Ribbon came about as a result of the World's Columbian Expo in Chicago.
So it's like a World's Fair.
It's like a beer fair.
Oh, okay.
And the thing is, they claim to have won it. And there's a big dispute because several beer companies claim to have won that.
It was like so long ago that like did they lose the records or whatever?
There was no winner that year.
Really?
So
They all
everybody it was like the very first participation trophy.
everybody got all their winners.
Everybody was a winner, but Pabst, that's what they. Yeah, I think it even says it somewhere on here. Yeah, selected as America's best in 1893, which was a crock of shit. But a marketing campaign.
Yeah,
they already had the blue ribbons. Then they claimed that, and it was just a series of events that led them to becoming the most drank beer in America.
Yeah, the thing with after doing the research on some of the stuff this week, PBR is definitely the oldest beer of our group that we're testing.
It is. Well, it is, yes, but one of our beers is brewed at a brewery that is the second oldest brewery in the country.
Yeah.
Even though that beer, luckily hasn't been around that fucking long. The brewery itself has. But PBR is our oldest beer of our
group this week.
Yeah, our stable.
Yeah.
1877 was Pabst's best year ever. They sold 18 million barrels.
18 million barrels.
18 million barrels.
So when I was doing this research, talking about that, where'd it go? This last year, their sales have declined. They went on a big campaign. PBR got really popular with the college scene again over the last few years.
Yes.
And they went on to, but I saw where this last year they sold 2 million barrels. They were the least on our list of beers, but actually all of the cheap beers on that we're doing tonight all are in the top 12 of most beers sold in the U.S.
You know what?
Yeah.
Sometimes, especially today, folks, gas prices are through the roof. You want to save a little money? Buy some beer.
Yeah.
But buy it in a PBR can.
There you go.
No, they after that they had a sharp decline. In 1996, they moved to Los Angeles, and in 2010 they sold to the C. Dean Metropolis. In 2015, they won the Best Large Brewer Award at the American Beer Festival, and they moved back to Milwaukee in 2020, and then they moved to San Antonio shortly thereafter. But after the early 2000s is when the college kids kind of rediscovered it.
Yeah, it's been around so long, I don't see how it had to get rediscovered. Yeah,
and that's the thing. You know, I remember I was out in North Carolina, stationed at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base from December 2002 to about September of 2005. And every college party, I think, we partied at North Carolina State, we partied at UNC, we never went to Duke, we partied at East Carolina University a lot, more than the other ones.
ECU was voted one of the biggest party schools in America a couple years ago, too.
It's on the list every year. It's fucking nuts. That place is wild. Their sports teams suck, but man, their parties are top notch.
Maybe they need to come up with some sort of party games as a college sport, and maybe they might be pretty good at that.
They would, yeah. We took it to the house there, man. We had a good time at ECU. But
the Pirates, right?
They are, yeah. Pirates. ECU Pirates, yeah. No quarter. That's their slogan. But I'll tell you what, man. We drank a lot of PBR at those parties. That was the beer. Yeah. When I was there. We had a good time.
There's a bar I went to a few times that it was like a normal, typical bar, and they had all the normal, everything on draft and nice premium beers and stuff. Yeah. They always kept a trash can full of ice behind the bar full of PBR, and it was like $1 a can. Like it was you go and just go have cheap beer, and but it served it out of a trash can. So I think that's pretty fitting.
Did you ever party at Gillies in Vegas back when it was in the Frontier?
I went there a few times. Yeah.
So I used to go there on a pretty regular basis. That was kind of our hangout.
you ride the bull any of them?
I did. I rode the bull 2 times. But they used to do a deal there where you paid $20 and you got a wristband.
Yeah.
And then if you paid the $20, it was $1 a beer from trash cans. And it was all Keystone, Milwaukee's Best.
Oh, heck yeah.
It was PBR. It was like 4 different beers that made up the trash can. And you just go up and say trash can beer, and they'd hand you which one they grabbed. And it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing. And yeah, man, we had, that was, the Frontier is the best casino that was ever on the Strip.
Yeah, and then they bulldozed it down.
They imploded it. I went at 2 a.m. I remember it was like on a Tuesday, and I went down and watched it go down.
Oh,
and
man.
It was emotional.
We used to always park in the Frontier parking lot when we went to the Strip because it was like one of the last places
parking.
was free parking. Yeah.
No, I had a good time at the Frontier, man. They had the horse race machine in there where it looked like a whole horse racing track, and you could bet on which horse was going to win. That was a great casino. Elvis played there.
Yeah, that's what was sad about some of those casinos. It's all for the sake of progress, I guess, but some of those places had a lot of history to them.
Have you seen what's going on right now?
No.
So Hard Rock bought the Mirage.
Really?
And they're tearing it down.
Whoa, really?
And there's a lot of hubbub over the volcano. Because the volcano... So I didn't know
that's
this.
pretty iconic on the Strip.
The Mirage was the first, what they call mega resort.
Yeah, yeah.
On the Strip.
Well, they're going to do the tigers in there. They had the whole big tiger habitat and stuff in there.
I have no idea.
Because Siegfried and Roy, I don't think are...
Yeah, man, they had the dolphins in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. But everybody's trying to they're trying to save the volcano.
You would think Hard Rock should be able to incorporate a volcano into their...
Well, it's one of the last free... I mean, you got the Bellagio fountains, but the volcano's been there,
Yeah.
Shit. Since I was a kid.
Yeah. Wow.
I remember. Yeah, I remember going out and seeing the volcano the first time in 04.
Yeah. Well, when I got stationed in Ellis, I got there. I was underage. I was 19 when I got to Vegas when I was stationed there, so I couldn't even go to the casinos and party or anything. So the free entertainment, like we go to Circus and do all the carnival games.
Yeah, at Adventure Dome and that.
Yeah, and then all the light shows and carnival stuff, or the amusement park rides and stuff they had. That was really about all you could do down there if you weren't 21. So
yeah, see, we were TDY out there in 04 the first time, and the only way I got to go was I told my flight chief I'd be his DD the whole time. So he put me on the list.
Nice.
And I went and I DD'd a few times, but I got most of the NCOs to buy me shit out there at the casinos. Yeah. So we got pretty fucking shit housed.
That's awesome.
It was good, but yeah, I remember the first time I saw the fountains, man. It was to Frank Sinatra. I mean, it was fitting.
Yeah. It was great. That was actually a really good show.
Yeah. If you guys haven't seen the Bellagio fountains, that is the best free thing you can do in Vegas. Go stand right in the center. It's a big platform out there, and
it's the size of a football field too. It's huge.
It's amazing.
It's like a 10-minute long show too.
Yeah, they do a phenomenal job.
And what is it? Every hour or every 90 minutes, something like that.
I think it's every hour after such and such a time. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It's been so long, but.
Yeah, it's that, and they did it. They did the timing of it, I think, because like the volcano happened every hour too, but it was on like at every half hour, and then the fountains was every hour, so that way you could go see both.
Yeah, and they used to have the pirates at the Treasure Island.
They shut that down. Well, when I left, it was shut down, but I don't know if they were getting ready to.
Yeah, I don't know, because they had the sirens there for a while.
That was a really good show.
Yeah, man, it was cool, man. Vegas.
It's gotten really corporate, I think, and just...
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. But yeah, there was some
progress.
Good shows. Yeah.
Now they got football teams and hockey teams, and...
Yeah. Actually, the hockey team is really good, though, at least.
They are, yeah. It sucks that we missed them.
A year. They started that the year after we left.
Yeah. I would have gone to a lot of games.
Yeah. The hockey...
Hockey in person is awesome.
It is. I've went to a few minor league hockey games, and they were really fun to watch. I mean, what my dad would always say was, I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out.
I used to. So I went to one NHL game when I was stationed. In North Carolina. We went and saw the Hurricanes play, and I don't even remember who they played. But Billings, Montana has a team, and they're I don't even know what league they're in anymore, but they're a minor league or whatever you call it. They're a professional league, but they're
It's like the AAA teams. Of
I don't even know if that. I think they're independent league.
Yeah, they are. But it's like. There's an independent league, and then there is a minor league team.
I don't even know, but they used to be the Billings Bulls. They were great when I was growing up. When they first got there, they were amazing, and I do remember one game getting called, and it was between the Bulls and the Pueblo Flames, and they got called for a fight that broke out. And it was just a fucking melee. The goalie from the Flames was this guy who had played for the Bulls before, and he was swinging his fucking stick up at the crowd trying to hit people.
Whoa!
And we had this guy, his name was Steve something, and he was getting pulled off of the ice. You know, he had gotten booted from the game, and they were skating. The officials were skating with him over to walk to the locker room, and the fight broke out, and he threw them to the side and went skating back down, and he punched the goalie in the face and busted his jaw.
Oh,
it
man.
was insane. And
that is awesome.
And they called the game with 2.5 minutes left.
Oh.
Yeah, it was because it was just. I mean,
it
was just a fucking melee.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
it was great.
That'd be great. Yeah, go watch a free fight.
Yeah, it was a good time. They had a couple guys that made it to the NHL.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were good. It was fun.
That's pretty cool. I never could skate that good.
I've never ice skated in my life. I'm from Montana. I have never ever ice skated.
That's almost against your religion, isn't it?
You know, that's the thing is hockey is getting big up there now.
Yeah.
But when I was growing up, it really wasn't.
Really?
No, I mean, I don't know why.
You would
think that it would be, but it really wasn't. You know, and I feel like we all missed an opportunity this generation.
Yeah.
There was a few guys that I played with, or that I grew up with that played, but I mean, it wasn't like North Dakota. Hockey's a big thing.
It's big there, yeah.
Minnesota, it's a big thing. New York, upstate New York, it's a big thing.
Yeah.
But for some reason for us, I don't know why it wasn't.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. But yeah, till this day. So I tried to ice skate once when I lived in Vegas at the Gold Spike. They put that rink in.
Yeah.
And I tried to go there, and I wear, depending on the shoe company, I wear a 13 or a 14.
Yeah.
And they didn't have skates big enough.
I went, it was where the Vegas's minor league team would practice at, it was one of the station casinos. I can't remember.
I thought it was the Orleans.
It was the Orleans, yeah.
Yeah.
Went there once because they did open skates or whatever too.
Yeah.
And they had a 13, but that sucker felt, because I wear a size 14 too. And,
yeah.
And that sucker felt like a 12 because my foot was crammed into these skates.
Did you fall?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So I used to, as most kids did in our generation, we used to do the roller skate night at school and all that, or the skating. The whole school would go to the skating rink and shit. And I did that, and I did rollerblades, but yeah, man, I never.
Yeah, I've
never wore ice skates.
I think I've only roller skated once or twice in my whole life. I think the last time I was 12.
Yeah, I bust my ass on.
It hurt.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it now.
No, I took my kids ice skating probably a year or two ago, and I did decent on the ice skates.
Where'd you go?
Down in Little Rock.
Really?
They have a big ice skating place. It was my daughter wanted to go for her birthday, so we took her ice skating, and it's like a roller skate and an ice skate place together. You just go from one to the other.
You want to get ballsy? Roller skates on the ice.
Oh man. That just sounds like an emergency room visit. But kids are. Kids just put them on and just went nuts and had fun and and they
kids are everything proof.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I remember being a kid and like falling down, and it was just part. You pick the rocks out of your bloody wound, and then keep playing. Now, if I think about falling, like I pull a muscle.
that was one thing. I was a meme. I think it was. I saw it was when you're a kid, you crash your bicycle 30 miles an hour on a gravel road. You get up and brush it off, and then now when you're older, when you're 30. You have a crick in your neck for 3 days because you used the wrong pillow.
Yeah, that's so fucking true, man. I know. That is so goddamn true.
Yeah, I sleep wrong and get injured now.
Yeah, that is 100% the truth, man. I never knew what a godsend a chiropractor was until I got like 35 years old.
Yeah.
And went for the first time, and like I had shit popping me, and I was like, oh, this is what I felt like when I was younger.
Yeah.
I wasn't in pain for 10 minutes.
I didn't realize that there was some relief to this.
Yeah. We went, Keisha and I went yesterday. I'll tell you a story. We went yesterday, and we took my mom, and we got massages. We fucking we went to this place with these Asian ladies.
Oh, yeah.
They were lovely. But we got my mom. She was out in the room, whatever, and they did her massage, and Keisha and I got a couple's massage. And they laid us down on these two beds, side by side, and we put our faces through the little toilet thing there. And this lady came in, and I got down to my underwear, and Keisha got down to her underwear, and we laid down. And this lady was massaging me, and she pulled my underwear off. She pulled them down and threw them to the side. And she crawled up on me. And she had her hands, I was laying flat. She had her hands down beside my head. And she was rubbing her knees. She laid on me completely.
Wow.
And then, like, slowly brought her legs up, my legs and up my butt.
So you must have paid for the premium package with this.
Dude, it was, I never had a massage. I had one massage a few years ago with this lady, and I fell asleep during it. But it was like, it was a massage. It wasn't like
a sensual massage.
This whole thing was something.
Yeah.
She rubbed her shin up and down my butt crack. And I didn't know what to think.
Yeah.
Like, it was so...
What do I do?
Yeah, so I was like, okay, maybe this is how it goes. And she was rubbing my thigh. I was laying down with my butt up. She was rubbing my thigh from the back. And she hit the bottom of my sack. And I was like, I didn't know what to think. And she had me roll over. And she started massaging the lymph nodes, like, on the sides of my dick. And it tickled. So I was like, eh. And then she started laughing. And then Keisha, they rolled her over, and she was like, where are your underwear?
What are you doing?
They're on the floor.
She took them.
Like, I didn't do. And yeah, it was so weird.
It's not my idea.
Yeah, it was so weird how that all went down. But anyway, I got a massage. Yeah.
Keisha's probably thinking she got gypped on the deal with didn't get.
Yeah, her lady did not do what my lady did. My lady was about it. But again, she worked on my back like a chiropractor did. She got some pops out of it.
Got some pops out of it. Oh man,
Keisha, that lady beat the shit out of her.
Really?
Her lady was not as friendly. She her back, she got bruises.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
She gave her like a fucking...
That was some deep tissue.
Yeah, she got in there, man. She was grinding. My lady was grinding too. Just totally different part of the body.
Different way. Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's what I told Keisha. I said, hey, you might both be pregnant. Yeah, it was thorough. Anyway. Travis grabbed a bush light, so we're going to get on with this.
So we'll end that story there.
It was a good massage.
All right, so next on our list for cheap beers is a good old Busch Light. If you remember the commercials, they had the guys fly fishing in the stream, and crack open the beer and it boosh.
Yeah.
Presenting the cold, refreshing mountains of Bush. The mountain, symbol of all the good natural ingredients that go into Bush. Symbol of all the good natural taste that pours out. Always smooth and natural and refreshing. Bush after bush after bush. So don't just reach for a beer. Head for the mountains.
Those are good.
So, Bush beer is owned by Anheuser-Busch. That's where it gets its name. And Anheuser-Busch, like the common ones, Budweiser, Bud Light, Michelob, Anheuser-Busch.
They're all owned by Beck's now, correct?
Yeah, Anheuser-Busch InBev. So it's a conglomerate with that European brewing company. Yeah.
Beck's, yeah.
So the Busch Heavy, the original Busch, debuted in, where'd it go? 1955. So Busch Light, where we're drinking right here, it debuted in 1979.
Okay.
So it's been around for a little while. It's been around longer, about 20 years longer than Keystone has.
So that kind of seems the heyday of light beer creation was the late 70s.
The original, the granddaddy of the light beers was Miller Lite. It was the first light beer that came out, and then some of these other beers came out to compete with.
I knew that.
And it was the great taste, less filling, and they had the calendar girls fighting and stuff over it.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Miller Lite commercials, the Super Bowl commercials was all really good. So they were the first light beer. It's really, we don't have Miller Lite right now.
Well, Miller Lite isn't. It's a level up from what we're drinking tonight, guys. So we'll do Miller Lite at some point, but this is your bargain basement beers.
I did like how Miller Lite went back to the retro cans. They put their original label back on.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
I did too.
Like that.
I thought that was nice.
So let's see here. So Busch Light came out, and so Busch Light is the best-selling cheap beer of our beers we have tonight. It actually is it's either come in at 5 or 6. Busch Light came in at 5 or 6 in the best-selling beers in America.
That's pretty popular.
Yeah. So last year, Busch Light sold 7.3 million barrels of beer. So once again, going to the 36-gallon barrels. So I did some math on this. So these are a tall can, so they're a little bit bigger than
16s, right?
Yeah. So they sold the 7.3 million barrels of beer. That is 36 gallons. A 36-gallon barrel is 384 12-ounce beers.
Okay.
Okay. So they sold the equivalent of 2.8 billion cans of beer.
Jeez.
Last year. Or actually, this is all 2020 numbers. So
okay.
So now think about it this way. To put it in another perspective, a normal 12-ounce beer can is a little over 4.5 inches tall.
All right. I like where we're going here.
So if you laid 2.8 billion beer cans end to end, they would wrap around the earth 8.5 times.
That's some drinking.
Yeah. And they would almost go all the way to the moon. They would go 212,000 miles of beer cans.
How far is the moon?
The moon is 238,000 miles. So
I can't believe you knew that.
Yeah, well, I got it written down right here. I knew it was around 250.
You know I was going to ask that.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew it was around 250,000, so I knew it was close. But yeah.
Just a couple months away.
Just a couple months away. Yeah. So, enough beer cans to wrap around the earth.
I like it. That's great. That's great. I'm going to have this other Busch Light because of that.
So here's another cool one. So September of 2020, Busch. Have you ever got your dogs into the dog brew from Busch?
Oh, I heard about this. It's chicken broth, right?
Well, it's
chicken broth.
A pork broth, pork bone broth.
Okay.
So it says
I have read about this.
Yeah, it's a non-alcoholic. So they're dog brew, and you can still buy it. The can it has its own logo, and it's Busch Dog Brew, and it's
I remember seeing that.
It's a brew of made with pork bone broth, water, vegetables, herbs, and spices. So it's like a broth drink that you can feed your dogs. Then yeah, they can have a bush with you.
Duck camp. Oh, Huck could participate.
The thing is, though, I'm actually tempted to try it myself, though.
I mean, it sounds like it'd be good.
Yeah, heat it up instead of drinking it cold, but
It keeps them in the office.
yeah,
What are you drinking?
it's a dog
Beer. Fuck off. Huh. That sounds good, actually. It really does. It'd be a good base for a soup.
Yeah. So what did you use in this soup? Dog beer.
I'm down to...
These chicken and dumplings are great. Yeah, it's got dog beer.
We'll do an episode where we drink dog beer.
We'll have to find it, yeah. Oh, man.
Where do you order? Can you order it online? Or can you get it at, like, Petco?
I'll have to look and see. I didn't see where you could buy it, but we'll have to...
We're going to find this out.
And if anybody knows where you can find the dog brew at,
I'm going to look it up right now.
Yeah. Yeah, we need a off-camera researcher like Joe Rogan's got. Jamie that can always...
I tried to get Keisha to come out here.
Yeah, we need
dog brew.
We need to put us like a screen, a TV up here on the wall, and have our off-camera pop stuff up on the screen.
We're in a shed, bro. We ain't putting a TV on the wall.
We're not that sophisticated yet. Maybe one of these days, hey, if you help us, all you listeners and viewers out there, help us get popular enough to where we can get us a studio and have us a screen on the wall.
Yeah, guys. We're counting on you.
Yeah, you got to help us out.
Huh. Yeah, if you and Fido out in the middle of summer on the beach or both want a beer, Bush has you covered.
Bush has it covered. Yeah. Yeah, Bush operates, or the Anheuser-Busch, they operate 12 breweries in the United States and another 20 in other countries. So they're truly...
They're big time.
Big time, yeah. Which their top beers like Bud Light, Busch Light sold 7 million barrels. Bud Light sold like 29 million barrels or something like that.
So I know when I was in England, I didn't drink American beer much. I stuck with, I like Carlsberg and...
yeah. I drank a lot of whatever the local stuff they had on.
Yeah, I tried to stick with what was around there because I knew I wouldn't get it here.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, what is the opinion abroad of like Bud Light?
See, like in England, I never
or
actually
Busch Light, because I've never seen Busch Light overseas.
I never saw Bud Light overseas.
I guess I hadn't either.
They had Bud Heavy, the original Budweiser. They had it in the bars a lot.
I don't think light beer is a big thing in other countries.
I don't think so. I think they do sell it, but it's not as
amazing
popular as
that America is the fattest nation.
Yeah,
but we have the light beer.
Yeah, maybe if we didn't have light beer, we'd be even fatter. Yeah,
it's all that bacon.
That's right. We do have way better bacon than I'm sorry,
we've covered
UK.
This.
I know we have a few listeners from the UK. I like your bacon, but I like American bacon.
Your bacon is not bacon.
I like streaky bacon better than your bacon.
Yeah, it's... Come to this side of the pond, guys. Have our bacon.
Yeah. I saw a video of a British guy, or it might have been, no, it was a German guy sampling American beers. And he sampled, I think he sampled some Bud Light and I think some other common American beers. And he didn't like any of them. But he actually sampled Yingling. And he said Yeah. And Yingling it's one of my favorite beers.
Yingling is delicious.
And that was his favorite by far. He said, this actually tastes like a beer. This tastes like a Bavarian beer.
Yeah, Yingling is great. I'm a fan.
That
is America's oldest brewery.
We'll have to do an episode on
for those of you who do not know.
Because Yingling's got 3 or 4 different beer flavors.
Yeah, they got the Hershey's one, and they got their light version.
They've got a black and tan out.
Yeah, they got the black and tan is okay.
But so yeah, we'll have
Flight is their light one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's good. I actually like it. I think I have some in there. They have their Golden Pilsner.
I really like the Golden Pilsner.
Yeah.
So
for me, I'm just regular Yingling.
The original, the OG Yingling is really good.
They did a good job. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. If you guys want, throw a comment in of what your favorite beer is. You know, we don't even have to like get on the topic of trying it.
Yeah.
Just to spread awareness of your favorite beers.
Yeah.
Other listeners can go on the comments and look, and maybe they haven't heard of them. My favorite beer in the world is Moose Drool. It's brewed up in Missoula, Montana, at the Big Sky Brewing, and I love it. I have some up in the garage fridge right now. But if you guys get an opportunity to try Moose Drool, it's great. It's fantastic. It's small market beer. It doesn't really make it too far from Montana. But
that's the thing, because there's thousands of microbreweries nowadays, and there's beers out there that people have never heard of before.
Yeah, like have you tried the Flyway, the blueberry?
Yeah, we've tried that before. One time I was over here and you had some.
Yeah, I love that shit too.
Yeah, the Blue Wing.
Blue Wing, yeah. Flyway Blue Wing is from Little Rock. A great beer. It's I don't even know what the hell to call it.
It's a blueberry wheat, I think.
It's fucking good is what I call it.
It's really good, yeah.
Yeah, try it, guys. But yeah, throw something in the comments. Just say what, it don't even have to be a suggestion for something for us to try. Just to spread
awareness.
What you like. Yeah. We'd like to know. So I'm always curious about trying new beers.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's so many of them.
Oh, by the way, we're going to throw it out there. Don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive. Have a plan.
Have a plan. Don't make stupid decisions. We've all done it.
So you're not saying...
Don't do it again. Drink anybody's shed.
So we're not going to drive fast and take chances?
No. Drive slow. Be safe.
Drive slow, be safe. Okay. So yeah, have a plan. Have a designated driver. Call an Uber. Call a cab.
Yep.
Be safe.
Anyway, back to it.
Let's see here. I don't know if let's see. I think I've got the dog brew was my last fact, and
but that's a hell of a good one to end it on.
Yeah. So that was a good one with Busch Light being the best selling of the cheap beers.
When you were coming up, and you were, because we're all going to be realistic and not tell lies here. When you were first drinking, when you were back in high school,
yeah,
what was your guys' beer of choice?
Whatever we could get a hold of.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you were to pick and choose one, what would you probably go with?
Well, if we were picking and choosing, it was probably either Busch Heavy or Natty Light.
We're gonna do a segment on Natty Light here in a minute.
Because usually, so where I grew up in farm country in Arkansas, and most of the farmers, that's what they had in the back of their truck was Natty Light or Busch or Old Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Something like that, or Milwaukee's Best. Those the cheap beers. That's what the farmers drank around there. And one thing, if you didn't have very much money as a teenager,
yeah,
you could get a lot of beer for $20 if you take up a collection among the friends. Do the Hey Mister, or
that was what our go-to was. We'd throw money together and go into a liquor store parking lot.
Yeah.
And we'd try and find a guy that we figured was about college age, and someone would go up to him and say, "Hey, if you buy our beer, we'll buy yours."
Yeah.
And that's how we'd get beer.
And I'm sure there's still probably a lot of people carried on that tradition now.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tried and true method.
One of the ways, one of the less honest ways, which I guess having somebody buy your beer for you isn't honest either, but I'd been known a time or two to raid a cooler in the back of a truck every once in a while. Like we said, teenagers would hang out in either the Walmart parking lot or the Harvest Foods, the grocery store parking lot, and we'd go to like basketball games where a bunch of cars parked in the parking lot. Go
through the back of trucks.
Go through the parking lot, looking in the back of trucks, and scoop out some beers out of a cooler.
we did. So Laughlin, Nevada, they have the boat float every year where the river run, they call it, and it's like a 5 mile. You just throw inner tubes together and lash them together and throw a cooler in the middle and float down. And we ran out of beer the one year.
The Colorado River, you don't even really need a cooler. You could just
it's cold.
Water is cold.
It's cold, but we ran out of beer. So me and one of my buddies, we would swim underwater up to other people's coolers and just reach our hand up and grab like 4 or 5 beers and come back down and swim back over to ours. So we were thieving beers. This is just a few years ago. Some habits die hard. We got caught so many times, but nobody really gave a shit.
Yeah, that's awesome. They probably gave you the A for effort on that.
Yeah. We were holding our breath for a long time. We deserved it.
You probably thought you were underwater, but your ass is probably
I'm
underwater
sure.
the whole time.
Yeah, we were shit-faced. We probably looked ridiculous.
Yeah. Hey, look at this guy.
No, our beer of choice back when I was in high school was Ice House.
Ice House.
And I think it's because it had the highest alcohol by volume of any of the canned beers at the time.
And it was super cheap, too.
And it was, and so we would get as much Ice House as we could, and then we would go out to, or Rolling Rock for some reason. I don't know why. We drank a lot of Rolling Rock.
Okay.
But we would go out to, there was a spot out there called Huntley Diversion Dam, and it's just on the east side of Billings in a little town called Huntley, and it diverts water from the Yellowstone River out to the farms out there. But a lot of people used to go down there, and you know what ling are? Have you ever heard of ling? They're or a burbot.
Okay.
They're a fish. And
Yeah.
they look like an eel, but they're actually they're like a freshwater cod.
Okay.
But they run up the river. They spawn and they run up the river, and you catch them in the middle of the night, and you just build big bonfires up on the banks of the Yellowstone River and night fish.
Yeah.
So there's bonfires all up and down the river.
Okay.
So we would go up there and build a big bonfire and just get shit-faced and fish and game, and the cops would just think we were fishing.
Yeah.
So no one would come and check us. We were all a bunch of underage kids drinking, which I don't recommend.
Yeah.
But
we're just telling stories.
This is what we used to do. It doesn't mean what you need to do.
Yeah.
But no, we would go get Ice House and go out there. Well, it started off like 4 or 5 of us, and then word got around, and then it'd be 10. And then, a couple weeks later, it'd be 20.
Yeah.
Well, it got to a point where there was like 100 kids out there from, our school and from Skyview and, from senior high, from different high schools. And then it got to be too fucking big.
Yeah. That's just drawing attention at that point.
And it did. And finally, in the one weekend, we were like, and we went out there all the time. We partied out there hard for years. Well, I say like 2 years.
Yeah.
But it seemed like, it was high school. It was a long time. But we decided the one night, we were like, we're just really risking too much. Let's not go there tonight. Let's just go to somebody's house and drink in the basement.
Yeah.
And it ended up getting busted that weekend. And shit, like 30 people got MIPs, and it was a bad deal. Yeah, it ended up. Yeah, a lot of people got in trouble. And everybody was like, where were you guys? We're like, we're going out there. Like, shit, you guys ruined it.
Yeah. Kids can't keep a secret and showing up 50 people deep.
It was ridiculous, yeah. But, what's funny is years later, that's where Cooper and his friends used to go.
Y'all started a tradition out there.
Well, the funny thing is I learned about it from Cooper's dad.
Really?
Yeah, he took me fishing out there. Well, not just me, but my mom and his friends. And, yeah, it was he, and I was like 11 years old the first time I ever went out there. And I just remembered the way. So when I got my license and all my buddies and we got beer, I was like, I got a place.
I know where we're going.
So
we've been waiting on this for years.
Yeah, I got my map out and everything.
You remember that back then? We didn't have Google Maps. We had maps.
Yeah. This is pre-cell phone.
Yeah.
I mean, like you had to just know where you were going, and this is when you had to actually keep your appointments with your friends. Yeah. Because you had to call their house.
Yeah. I mean, and you didn't have a phone. You have to go find a payphone. So
yeah, man. Life was tough for us coming up.
Yeah. Or you'd have to, like you said, keep your appointment. I'm going to call you at 6 o'clock, so you had to be there waiting on your phone.
Or I'm going to meet you here at this time, and if you weren't there, they couldn't just call you and be like, "Hey, man, where you at?" It was.
Well, do we wait or do we leave his ass?
Yeah, you had to make choices. You actually had to coordinate
with your phone. Speaking of phones and payphones and stuff. Did you ever have a party line phone?
Yeah, I did.
We did too growing up. And you'd be expecting a phone call, and then your neighbor down the street is on the phone. You're like, get off the phone!
Yeah.
So if some of you guys don't know what a party line is, when you have your home phone.
It's a shared line.
A shared line with all your neighbors, like on your road or on your street. And if your neighbor is on the phone, you could pick up yours and hear what they're saying. But you can't use the phone until they're done with it.
Well, I got in trouble because I had met this girl that lived I went to Germany when I was 16. And we just did like a German class trip, whatever.
Yeah.
And I met a girl from Texas. And we hit it off. You know, we became close on the trip. And so I was always hogging the phone line. And I would get in trouble all the time from everybody.
From everybody. Oh, man.
They hated me.
That was back when the long distance, you had to pay for long distance calls and stuff, too.
We had calling cards.
Oh,
this is
yeah.
when calling cards had just got in the gas station.
Hey, my first couple of deployments, we still used calling cards because, like, that was before Skype and before VoIP.
When I first started deploying, we had SPAWAR.
Okay.
And with the phone center where you had the
Yeah.
SPAWAR card.
Yeah.
But
you had to call and put minutes on it or whatever.
yeah,
so.
that's so weird to think now everybody has internet in the room and you can like video chat.
Yeah.
When they're deployed.
We still had to call and use calling cards and stuff. And
yeah, I remember doing that. Man, I remember one time on the phone with my dad, and my dad, he knew where I was at, and I guess he knew it was like dangerous or whatever. But I was on the phone with him, and the building next to us got hit with a fucking mortar.
Yeah.
And it blew up, and everybody was screaming, and I was like, I gotta go, and I hung up. And got on the ground, and waited about 5 minutes, and I called him back, and he was freaking the fuck out. And I think that's when it hit him, like,
yeah,
my kid is fucking, like, legit deployed in a bad place. Yeah.
When my first trip to Balad, I was there talking about that, and in the little phone center they had.
Yeah. That's where I was.
I called this was 2004 Balad, so this was back when Balad was getting rocketed and mortared.
Yeah,
Mortaritaville. And it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I think, because I worked noon to midnight, that shift. So it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm at the phone tent. But it's like a big, like 40-man tent, they called it. And they had like little phone booths set up in it. It was like 10 or 15 little phone booths in there. And you had to get your little AT&T calling card and use your minutes on your calling card. Well, I was talking to my wife on there, and the alarm red sirens went off. We were sitting there, and you're supposed to run to the bunker. We didn't run to the bunker.
Yeah, nobody does. Yeah.
I sat there, and my wife heard the sirens over the phone. She said, "What's going on?" And it's like, "Oh, it's an alarm red. It's the base is really big. It's probably not anywhere close to us or anything like that." And she said, "Do you need to go?" And I was like, "No, we're good. I've only got 15 minutes. I can use the phone anyway, so I'm gonna sit here." And then about that time, a mortar goes over the tent. You can hear it, woo, and then it hits like 3 tents down and blows up. And then you can hear rocks and stuff raining down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit! And I climb up. I just climb under the desk, and I've just grabbed the phone off the desk, and I'm like sitting there underneath. And she said, "What was that? I heard that." I said, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's like, it's what's going on." And she was getting all worried.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
Don't worry about it, baby. It's okay. It's like.
And I remember being there because we stayed in H6 housing.
Yeah, yeah.
And
J8, I think, was my tent in H6 housing.
Oh, man, I don't remember where I was at, but yeah, we were in H6, and I remember, it was my third night there, and my site lead that I had at the time was one of my pro supers from Korea, so I knew the guy, and we'd partied together before, and he came pounding on my door. This is when we were in RLBs at that point.
Yeah.
He came pounding on my door, and he was like, and so I got out of bed, and I opened the door, and I was like, oh shit, I'm late for work, and I was like, hey, I'll be there in a minute, like, I'm sorry I overslept, and he's like, no, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine, why? Like, he's like, you've only, like, it's 2 hours after the end of your shift. I was like, oh, I've been asleep for an hour, like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
A fucking mortar had hit one of the smoke pits right outside my door.
Oh,
It killed 4 people.
Oh, shit, yeah.
But it was like, I slept through the whole thing.
Yeah. They're in H6.
It was like 50 feet outside my door.
So, it sounds like it was pretty similar to where because on I was talking about my tent, J, whatever, I can't remember the number, but it was J row, and it was the very end of the tents.
Yeah.
And then right outside that was a smoke pit about 30 yards away where you go smoke. One night, I'm laying there in my bed, and I got the corner bed. It was because you had sandbag walls around you on two sides.
Yeah.
So
That's how we were at another base I was at.
I really like the corner bunk in there, but sleep, and there was times you'd be in the middle of your sleep cycle and alarm red would go off. There's times I would just grab my Kevlar and stick it on my face, and then grab my vest and just put it over the top of me like a blanket and just go back to sleep.
Yeah.
But there was one night I didn't even heard the sirens. I was tired. Never heard the sirens go off. And feel something like shake my bed. I'm like, what's going on? And I wake up and there's a cop, an SP, standing there in my bedroom with a flashlight shining in my face. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, what are you doing? You're in my room. And he said, why aren't you in the bunker? And I was like, because I'm sleeping. And he's like,
why aren't you?
He said, you need to get up right now. And I was like, why? And he said, there's a UXO right out here. And I was like, what? He said, you need to get up, get your gear on, and get out. So I got up, got my gear on, and walk out. And between our tent and the smoke pit, a rocket, one of those 107 millimeter Russian
big motherfuckers,
had lawn darted into the parking lot out there, like 30 yards from our tent. It didn't go off. It just stuck in the ground like a
Jesus, dude.
And so they had it all cordoned off. They woke us up. We had to go to the bunker, and the EOD had to come out there, and they.
Those 107s are no shit though.
Yeah, they were. It was that's like a 4.5 inch diameter rocket, something like that.
Yeah.
And but yeah, never heard the alarm. Never heard the rocket. Never heard the impact. It was close enough. I should have felt the impact of it hitting, but I was dead to the world at that point.
One night at Balad, we had like 7 of those go over our hangar.
Yeah.
and they were, and the C-Rams lit up, and I mean, like, all this fucking, they got the tracer rounds, and I was like, holy shit, like that was one of the only times I've been over there where like it was real. Like I got actually like shook, and we went running through the hangar to go to the bunker, and one of the dudes I was with, this mech, he goes, oh fuck, I got hit with shrapnel. And there was a fucking moth that hit him in the neck. He laid down on the ground. We were like, get up, you fucking asshole. Like, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
dude.
man. Yeah.
Oh, it was fucking, you're a bitch. Get up.
I'm hit. Oh.
Yeah, he did. He thought he was going to die. It was a bug.
Yeah, they didn't get the C-Rams out there till my third trip. I went to Balad in 04, 05, and 06, and they didn't have the C-Rams there until 06. And, man, it was...
Those things are awesome.
Yeah, that was great. They would go off, and it was like... Just they sound awesome, though, too. You hear the... Well, you'll have to stick a video up of a
yeah, those things are really cool.
Yeah.
They're the gun out of an F-15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same... It's the same as the Sea Whiz off of battleships, off Navy ships and stuff. So it's the land-based version of a Sea Whiz.
Yeah, they're cool. And they will save your ass.
If you don't know what that is, we'll put a picture of it up. But it's a radar-guided Gatling gun that can shoot 6,000 rounds a minute of 20 millimeter shells. And the shells are explosive.
They're flak, basically.
And the radar can track a target as small as like a baseball. And shoot mortars, rockets, planes, missiles, all that down out of the air. And
Fuck yeah!
designed originally for ships or ship defense. The Sea Whiz was a close-in weapon system, and it was designed to like shoot down really close targets and threats off of Navy ships. And then they adapted it. They put them on like on a tractor-trailer rig, and they put them on Air Force bases all around Iraq and Afghanistan to shoot down mortars and rockets that were getting shot at us.
They're neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a pretty badass platform.
I feel happy that they were there when I was there.
Yeah.
I've been at bases with them and bases without them. And bases with them were a lot better.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because that was my first experience. I was 19, 20 years old there at the time. And,
that one was going.
getting rockets and mortars on a daily basis, multiple times a day. And you never knew. That's the thing, it was so sporadic, you never knew what when was going to get close.
Yeah.
Had a few close calls. Like, one of the things, too, I never knew was a fact, or never knew was real, with mortars and rockets. You hear them on the movies or TV shows where they had, like, that whistling sound when they go over. I thought that was always just like a movie sound effect or whatever. That
shit's real.
Shit was
That
real.
Shit's real, yeah.
Yeah, but one thing I learned though too, if you hear them, that means they're going over
That's
you.
the thing. Yeah, it's like that's an okay sound because when you first hear it, it's fucking scary. But then like when you learn what it means, like you're like, oh, I'm okay.
Yeah, I tell you what. So speaking of that, so going back to 2004, when I was at Balad for about 120 days, right at 4 months, and going through about 300 and something mortar attacks while I was there in those days. I heard that sound a lot.
Yeah.
And get back to Nellis, to the base, and I was there. I think I was doing my in-processing appointments or whatever on Nellis. And there's an exercise going on in Nellis, and there was some Navy fighters, F-18s were there. I don't know if you ever heard an F-18.
Yeah, I have.
Have you heard when they hit a certain AOA or a certain speed, their intakes will make a whistling noise that sounds just like...
Really similar, yeah.
I was sitting in the parking lot getting ready to go to like MPF for an appointment for something, and one of those F-18s flew over, and I about shit myself in the parking lot. It sounded just like a freaking rocket coming in. So you know the sound I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah, so that was
too well.
Because I freaked out. Like, I'm in Vegas. I'm at Nellis. Like, I shouldn't be hearing that sound.
Poor Keisha, she's been deployed way more than I have. She's I think she's done 24 deployments.
Dang,
that's a lot.
Yeah.
And because I did 12. I don't know how many you ended up doing.
I did around 10 or 12. Yeah.
Yeah. Keisha's I think she's at 24 now, and she's gonna do a 25th, and she's finally calling it quits. Cannot fucking wait. But the tornado sirens sound just like
the alarm red sirens.
So there's been times where she's gotten home from a trip where she's been shot at a lot.
Yeah.
And they test them at noon here.
Yeah.
And those will go off, and she gets it shakes her up.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's those certain sounds, and that just it triggers memories.
It gets in you. Yeah. No, yeah. There's been times down on the base here when I remember one time we were at work here and a thunder clap hit, and it was like boom, and I went under the desk. And everybody was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, apparently I'm the only one that's ever been shot at in here." That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a time when I think it was going back to that first trip. I'd gotten back from deployment, and there was something, I don't remember what it was going on, some celebration going on at a park that was right down the street from the house, and they had to put on a big fireworks show. We didn't know anything about it. Yeah. And all of a sudden you start hearing all the explosions going off. And so I'm there at the house, and I start hearing it sounds like rockets going off to me.
Fuck my life.
What's going on?
Yeah.
So that was kind of I didn't think I overreacted. My wife thought that was kind of like the first indication to her. She said I turned white, and then I was like, I'd gotten real nervous. And she said that was like kind of a revelation to her that I'd seen some stuff that wasn't very good.
Well, that's the thing, man, is I'm totally cool with fireworks I like.
Yeah.
Or that I'm aware of.
That's the thing.
They're great, but if they're out of the blue, you're like,
yeah,
what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, the sudden noises are still a little jumpy. But yeah, if I see it and if I know what's happening, I'm fine with it. Yeah.
Well, guys, we got a little off track with our little trip
some
down a rabbit hole there.
War stories.
Sorry. I just cracked a Natty Light, so I'm going to tell you about Natty Light.
Tell you what, let me grab a Natty Light while you're at it too,
please,
so we
please
can
do.
partake of that together.
Natty Light started July 31st, 1977. The whole point of it was an answer by Anheuser-Busch to compete with Miller Lite.
That's right, yeah.
It was originally called the full name Anheuser-Busch Natural Light. It was priced the same as any premium U.S. beer at the time. It was at a price point with Budweiser, with Coors Original, with Miller and Miller Lite, which is not a premium beer today, but at the time, like, that was what we had. That was our top of the
that was our
top-notch shit.
Yeah.
The price went down to what do they call it? What did you say?
The sub-premium.
Sub-premium category.
Or the
in 1981,
economy.
When Bud Light was introduced. Bud Light took its place.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, guys, and I'm not shitting on this, I think Natty Light is every bit as good as Bud Light.
In all honesty, I think I like Natty Light better than Bud Light.
I mean, you heard it here first, folks. Get yourself some Natty Light.
Yeah.
It's of the cheap beers, I gotta say this one gets my nod as the best.
Yeah, I like it better than the Busch Light. Busch Light's not too bad. The Natty Light has a little bit cleaner flavor to it. And
that's the thing. It's still crisp. It's a good. It doesn't leave a shitty aftertaste.
Yeah, the Busch Light and the Keystone even does have a little bit of like a tart aftertaste to it.
This is just a clean.
Yeah,
it's a good quality flavor. I have to say that I there's a special place in my heart for Natty Light. When I lived in North Carolina, it was our beer of choice with all me and my buddies because we were poor as shit. We were airmen, and me and my buddy Pat, best man at my wedding, Peaches. Hello. We had a house together. We were the first guys of my little group of friends that moved off base.
Yeah.
Because when we got there, our guys were deployed. All the guys in the dorm. So the dorms were at capacity. So we didn't have anywhere to live. So they kicked us off base. They gave us BAH, BAS, and
there you go.
We ended up. We looked at a couple places and we picked. I think it was the third place we went to, and we both walked in, looked around, and said, "Yeah, this will work." And it was a little shitty 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, just a dump of a fucking house out in the industrial district in Goldsboro, North Carolina, off of North William Street, for those of you who know where that is.
Yeah.
We had there was like a steel plant across the road. There was over to the right, there was a steel plant. Directly across the road was a place called Woods Custom Motorcycles. They built drag race Harleys.
Oh, heck yeah.
There was a gas station and a strip club down the road.
Everything you need within walking distance.
It was heaven.
Yeah.
It was heaven. But yeah, man, it was right on the county line. Our yard was where it went from city to county.
Oh wow!
It was great. That was the best part of the place.
Because you were in the county, right?
We were county.
Yeah,
we were county. We got in a lot of. We should have gotten a lot of trouble that we avoided out there. The house was just a fucking toilet. We melted all the siding. We shot a 12-gauge flare gun at a couch out in the yard.
Oh, yeah, I heard that story.
Yeah, it was terrible. Couches burn real quick and real hot.
Real hot. Yeah, all that foam.
All that foam. Oh, shit. But yeah, so our drink of choice when I was coming up was Natty Light. And you just can't go wrong with a Natty Light. You can't. For those of you Brits and Aussies and Canadians and Saudis now, I think.
Yeah, we got our first. So we talked about last week, our last episode. We were in 6 different countries. We got us a download this week from Saudi Arabia. So that's our 7th country.
Yeah, if you guys get an opportunity to try Natty Light, don't thumb your nose down at our cheap beers. Just enjoy it for what it is. It's a cheap light beer that is.
It's like $4 a 6-pack.
And it's not I'm not gonna say it's great, but it ain't bad.
No, it ain't bad at
It
all.
ain't bad. And if we're gonna talk about value for your dollar,
Yeah.
I'll put this up with anything.
Yeah, really. It's probably and like I said, I like Keystone, but really, it's probably the best one out of all of them tonight. Yeah.
This is the first time I bought Natty Light in a lot of years.
Yeah.
But I can promise you, as of this episode,
Yeah.
the first recording of this episode, I'm telling you guys, I'll buy this shit again.
Yeah.
Probably next week.
It'll be good, and it's cheap enough. You can keep it stocked in the fridge, and
Yeah, and if your friends come over, if they try and judge you for having this, fuck them.
they're not real friends anymore.
They're not real friends. You know why? I learned this from Travis. I'm going to tell you guys a lesson I learned from Travis.
Okay, yeah.
What's your favorite beer?
Free.
What's your second favorite beer?
Cold.
That's right, guys. Best lesson. That's a life lesson right there. If your friends come over and you give them a Natty Light and they bitch, you tell them, get out of my house.
Yeah, it's free, isn't it? Yeah.
But you're giving them this is a good quality. I'm telling you, for the price point, you can't go wrong. It's like having a Toyota Corolla.
There you go. It'll last forever.
I have a Toyota Corolla, so it's bang for the buck, guys. This is it. This is the crown jewel.
You get the mileage out of it.
I'm gonna have another one before this episode is done, I do believe.
Oh yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. Our next beer, I'm a little fearful of.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, I'm gonna get back to the Natty Light story here. In 2001, Consumer Reports listed Natty Light as a best buy and the number 2 light beer in the world. In 2008, it won a bronze medal at the World Beer Cup in the American Style Light Lager beer category. The Wall Street Journal listed as the 5th best-selling beer in the U.S. Although Beer Advocate, and fuck you for this, Beer Advocate, listed as a 47 out of 100, giving it a title of awful. And RateBeer.com listed as the worst beer in the world. And you guys are dumb.
Yeah,
as
because
shit.
they have obviously not had some of these other beers.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. If you want to try the worst beer in the world, we're going to get to it real quick.
But I tell you what, though, I mean, even there's some beers out there, and I know I may offend some people by this because I know there's a lot of people that like IPAs. I don't really care for IPAs.
I'm not an IPA guy either.
I'd have this over an IPA any day.
Yeah, guys, if you drink IPAs, don't get me wrong. I've had some that are okay.
Okay, yeah.
But some have you ever had a Kolsch? Kilsch?
Yeah.
Sour
Or that it's almost like a grapefruit flavor, that sweet bitter.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I'm not a grapefruit fan anyway, though, but there's some that have that citrusy bitter flavor to them.
But guys,
And-
let's get real. This is better.
Yeah, so like on my research, Busch Light was the number 1 of our group. Natty Light was number 2 at 6.5 million barrels sold.
It should be more.
Yeah.
For what the price is, it should be more.
Yeah. And so we're looking, instead of 8 times around the earth, we're about 5 times around the earth in Natty Light cans.
I feel like, man, this is the deal of a century for this beer.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. And especially for the price of what you're paying for it.
Yeah. This is every bit as good as...
I'd take it over a Bud Light.
I would too.
Yeah.
That's no bullshit. I got Bud Light in the fridge.
Yeah.
And here I sit
Yep.
with a can of this and not bitching.
Well, the thing is, though, too, I mean, it's like Budweiser or Anheuser-Busch isn't losing any sales because it's the same company as Bud Light anyway. So, I mean...
Yeah.
But,
Save your money. Stretch your dollar. Choose some Natty Light. And, cut your sleeves off. Go to a monster truck rally.
hey, if you want something that's stronger, there's Natty Ice, natural ice, that you can get as well. And it's
true.
It's, like 6-something%.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
up there.
Or
Yeah,
5.7, I think, something like that.
I gotta drain the walnut.
No, drink. All right. Got a pee break.
Yeah. Fuck.
So we're gonna go Bush, even though it's a PBR.
Remember that? Head for the mountains of Bush.
Oh,
beer.
yeah.
Head
Bush.
for the mountains. It's cold and it's cool. It's there just for you. Head for the mountains of Bush beer. Those were great.
Those are always some good commercials. I mean, they don't do I haven't seen a good beer commercial on TV in a while. Budweiser used to always have some really good.
And the Clydesdales were great.
Even the frogs. Remember the Budweiser
Oh,
frogs?
yeah, Budweiser. Yeah, those were good.
But I
thought they went off the deep end with the chameleon and shit, though.
Yeah. One of my favorites was we talked about it a little bit earlier, the Miller Lite commercials, the taste great, less filling.
Yeah.
And there was one that had a couple like supermodels fighting over
Yeah, man. It was great growing up in that era. We had a good run. It's not like that anymore.
Well, I think social media ruined a lot of that too. You know, just you get away with a lot more back when we were teenagers. Like you didn't have cell phone cameras out.
Anything that you do can come back to haunt you.
Yeah, everything's on the internet now.
This is on the internet,
including our our discount podcast.
Fuck it. Yeah.
Anybody with a camera, a phone, and a microphone can do a podcast nowadays. They'll just let anybody do this shit.
What do you guys do? We just get cheap beer.
Get drunk in a shed and then just talk shit to a microphone.
We don't even know if anybody's listening. Yeah, I got Jordan listening to it, by the way. I sent it to him earlier.
Heck yeah.
He said he liked it.
Good.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll pick up a few...
I did. I texted it out to a bunch of people last night.
Good. Yeah. Good. Yeah,
He said he'd be on it.
Oh, heck yeah, we'll have to... So that's another thing. If anybody has a suggestion of who we should have on the show, we want to start having guests on the show.
Yeah.
So who should we pick up? We've talked to some bartenders that talked about one on there.
And don't be dicks and say like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, let's be real about it.
Of course. Hey, Arnie, if you're watching, yeah.
But Arnold will welcome you. I mean, you're not... You're welcome.
But I figure we're just probably a little bit below your pay grade a little bit, so...
Yeah. But I mean...
But yeah.
If you want to come chill in the shed, bro.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
No, if you guys, seriously, if you got suggestions on anything, like, we're open to this shit. Throw it in the comments. Shoot us an email. Put it up on your Twitter. We don't give a shit. We'll find it.
Tons of subjects still we haven't covered yet. So we've got plenty of stuff we can do.
There's a couple guys in the shed.
Yeah.
We have access to the internet, though.
We've got a camera and a microphone. We can comment.
We got a new microphone, by the way. And
yeah, we're not sponsored, but we really like our Blue Yeti microphone. It's one of the number one. Blue Yeti is the name of the microphone. They have a compact version, or this is like one of the number one entry level podcasting microphones out there now.
That thing is not compact.
No, this isn't. They have one that is, but this one's not. This is their full size, but this is the Magnum. the big black they call it.
That's where I was going with it.
Yeah. But yeah, we really like it. It does a good job.
Oh, okay.
You want me to?
Yeah, because we're about to do something we are going to regret.
I'll set this off to the side so I can use it as a chaser.
Yeah.
So we will put a video up of our reaction to this.
I'm going to tell you guys something. The fact that we're doing this again, we're fucking dedicated. This is proof. Because this tastes like straight fucking butt sweat.
So, like we said, the marketing department from this company, bottled and brewed by Rhinelander Brewing Company in Monroe, Wisconsin.
So, I'm going to tell you guys about this. This is called, I'll show you the label. It's called Good Ass Beer. And it's got the donkey with the bottle cap. It's actually a really cool label.
It's a brilliant label, yeah.
Have a good ass time. The box even says, I'll show you this real quick, guys, because it's pretty cool how they did it. It says, if I can get this, really a cool, it says, this is a good ass box, keep it and use it. And I don't know if you can see that, but I hope you can. There's some really amazing marketing that goes into this. It's simple, but effective. And as he said, it's the Rhinelander Brewing Company, formerly the Minhas Craft Brewery in Monroe, Wisconsin. It is the oldest brewing company in the Midwest, and it's actually the second oldest continuously operating brewery in the United States after Yuengling, which we had talked about a little earlier.
That's crazy. That
it's an old brewery. It's a classic. It's a point of American pride for sure.
So here's what we've got to do. We've got to find another beer from this brewing company.
Well, they have a whole bunch. I went on their website. They have a whole bunch. And points to you guys, you don't even list this one on your website. And I know why. It's because it tastes like shit.
Yeah.
It's god-awful. I'm going to try it again. Maybe this is a little bit better can than that last one that I had. The last one was god-fucking-awful. But let's do it.
Cheers. We'll try it again.
It's not any better.
No, still tastes like shit. So, okay.
It's got like a buttery, just shit flavor.
So, okay. So, the last episode, we was going over the wedding traditions, right? And you remember the Ukrainian tradition where they would take the shoe and drink vodka or drinks out of the bride's shoe? This tastes like I'm drinking beer out of a sweaty...
A fucking bowling
sneakers.
shoe.
Yeah, bowling shoe, basketball shoe after a game.
After like a championship run.
Yeah. This is out of a...
Like Rodman's jockstrap.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you know, there's a painting. I don't even know. It's...
Rodman's jockstrap?
No.
But
yeah. There's a... I don't even know if it's a real painting or not. Maybe it's just a spoof, but it looks like an old, like, Victorian Renaissance era painting. And it says, this is where IPAs come from. And it's like a painting of this guy pouring a beer down the butt crack of another person, and a guy standing underneath the butt crack drinking beer out of a butt crack.
Yeah.
Have you seen that picture?
I have not.
We're going to put this up on there because they said this is where good ass beer comes, because it tastes like it's been poured down a butt crack.
So the thing is I'm not going to lie. Like, I bought this before, and I didn't mind it. And this is a couple years ago. John B., a guy we work with, had recommended it. He said it's not a bad beer, and I got to agree with him. It wasn't at the time. So I have a theory with this, and I have not, and I won't try to prove it right. Oh, I got to yawn. I'm getting tired. But I think if you start with this, like you drink this from the start, it's not that bad. But if you drink other beer and then move on to this, I don't know why, but it's like a punch to your fucking jejunum.
Yeah,
it's rough.
It's like a sour or a sour metallic. I don't even know if you can say that. It tastes like it's got a penny dissolved in it. It tastes like you're drinking a butthole.
Yeah, it's gross. But I'm gonna finish it.
Good ass beer. Says eating ass beer is what it should sound like. after like a fucking cabbage dinner. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like butter poured through a fucking crab shell.
This brewing company's
with a dissolved penny into a fucking gym sock.
Yeah, because like if the show was, we're still getting started out. You know, we're on our half a dozen episodes of the show. If we were like Joe Rogan or something and talking shit about this beer, we'd get like a letter from a lawyer saying that we're slandering the company or whatever.
Guys, if you want to send if you want to have your lawyer send us a letter, please do. But then tell your lawyer to drink a can of this shit.
Yeah, because
then he's gonna say you're fucking right.
Exactly, because for slander to be actual slander, it has to be false. You're stating a false statement.
This what we're saying sucks.
It's true.
This is bad beer. And I like...
And here we are still drinking it.
Yeah, we're stupid for doing this.
But
I'm telling you guys, like, I've drank a handful of beers in my life. I mean, And I've drank a lot of fucking beers.
I drank some
From multiple countries.
Yeah.
Always try to find the best thing to say about a beer.
Yeah.
And the best thing I can say about this one is I hope it goes by fast.
Yeah. It's good and cold. The ice got it nice and cold.
The donkey on the label is the best part of this.
Yeah. Yeah, the label. I mean, really, you got to hand it to them. But really, the label is amazing, and the name is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fucking lie. It's light beer.
Well, good ass beer. I'm just wondering if it's just if they mean it tastes like ass. Like this is good ass crack beer.
It's fucking bad.
Good ass beer. I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder of that.
Yeah, John B. You are wrong, sir. But I'm not. No shit. When I tried it before, like. Maybe we got a bad batch in this box.
Man, that box sat out in the sun for 2 weeks or something like that and soured.
Bro.
But the thing is, it only comes in a 24-pack box, though.
That's the thing, yeah. You can only buy like a fucking suitcase of this.
And it's like...
And you can't buy a 6-pack of good-ass beer that I've seen. And I could be wrong. All I'm saying is the liquor stores I've gone to that carry it, it only comes in that box.
And it
is a good-ass box.
It's like $4 for a case of it, right?
Yeah, it's cheap. I think they give it away.
Yeah. Here's $5. Take this beer.
Yeah. This is bad.
Yeah. It's
here's the thing. Most of the time, when you drink like a tequila or a whiskey or whatever, you get a chaser of a beer of your choice.
Yeah.
This is the first time in my life I've wanted a chaser for my beer.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I could take a sip of good-ass beer and then chase it with PBR. Oh, and the PBR still doesn't cut it all out.
It's not cutting through. Huh?
Yeah.
It's not the turpentine you need.
Yeah. That might be the ones where you do it in reverse. You drink the beer, then drink a shot of whiskey as a chaser.
I got a bottle of whiskey in that door. It's Gentleman Jack, dude. It's good shit.
See, I would hate to ruin the flavor of a Gentleman Jack.
Yeah, but it's almost worth it. Fuck.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure having you this week.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. We're building this show up little by little. We're gaining followers. We're gaining views.
We're gaining friends.
Yeah, that's right. The more you guys can comment and help us out and
share and like and subscribe.
Yeah, we need your guys' help. Spread the word. If you like our stuff, if you like our content, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Leave us a suggestion.
That's the biggest thing that we need. The likes are great, the subscriptions are great, but give us suggestions because we're dumb.
Well, the thing is,
and we don't have the brightest ideas.
Well, we have stuff we can cover, but we also want to cover subjects or things that you guys want to hear and see too.
Yeah.
So we want to provide a good product or a good story, but we want it to be something that you guys actually want to partake in. So I mean, just let us know what you guys want to hear, what you guys want to see. We're available on YouTube. We're on all the podcast players now. We got hooked up with Spotify 2 weeks ago, so we're on there now. They're actually our number 2 podcast downloads now is through Spotify.
Oh yeah.
So they're actually outperforming Apple Podcasts now. So Apple, all you Apple people out there, start downloading some more episodes.
Yeah, up your game.
But we appreciate you guys' support, and anything we can do to make the show better, just let us know, because we would like to keep doing this. We'd like to keep making shows.
Yeah, we're having fun, guys, but we want to be able to interact with you a little more.
Yeah. That's been the main thing is just a little bit more interaction. That'd be really good. But yeah,
No, guys, just anyway, thank you so much for watching and listening and downloading. And I know I listen to podcasts on my drive.
Yeah.
So if we made your drive a little better,
yeah, that's it.
hope we can do it again. Please be safe and thank you.
You guys have a good one. We appreciate it.
Ugh, this shit sucks.
Good ass beer.
Fucking liars. Oh.